Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Do we have a lot to talk about? Hey, what's up guys, it's Sam here. How are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. We are going to have a lot to talk about. Oh my god. We had the race at Dover this weekend. That was probably the most boring race for most of it the entire season, besides Kentucky. Until the end, that was pretty good. And you didn't think anything was going to happen this weekend. You didn't expect any news, but boy, were you wrong. Let's get into some of the biggest news of the weekend. The biggest news of the week we will have down at the very end of the news section. But some big news this week, coming out of this weekend, is Kasey Kahne announces his retirement. I knew you guys were expecting me to talk about it. I am. Kasey Kahne has announced his retirement. Now, he obviously announced his retirement at the end of the season. Back in August, he announced that it would be at the end of the season. And then at Indianapolis, he announced that he was not going to be racing. Then he announced that he was going to be racing the first 3 races of the chase. And then he announced that the first race of the round of 12 at Dover, he would not be racing. And then just came out this weekend that he will not be racing the rest of the season. And obviously, since he's retiring after the end of the season, he will never race a NASCAR Cup Series again. I mean, pretty much is what we're getting to. He might do a one-off race like Dale Jr. did in the Xfinity Series, but I expect that he's pretty much done. He's gonna be doing a lot of sprint car racing. He's done for the season, and he's at the end of his career, obviously. In other news, Matt DiBenedetto has announced that he will be driving for Levine Family Racing for next year. Currently, Kasey Kahne drives that car, and then obviously since he's not been racing, Regan Smith has been driving the car. So next year we will have Matt DiBenedetto driving the 95, and they're also going to be switching to Toyota, which I like that idea because when Martin Truex Jr. and Furniture Row Racing moved to Toyota with the alliance with Joe Gibbs, they did amazing. He won the championship in his second year, and he won 4 races in his first year, so I mean, that's amazing. And yes, this is blood on my shirt. Calm down. I didn't get a bloody nose. I got shot, all right? Other news, Hunt Brothers Pizza has announced that they will be going to Kevin Harvick in the Cup races for next year, some of the Cup races part-time. I'm not a big fan of this because Harvick literally was a leech for years with this sponsor, and now as soon as he retires, he's going to them in the Cup Series. I don't know why that pisses me off. It just does. It seems like something I should be pissed off about. I don't really care, but it seems like something I'd be pissed off about. Therefore, I am. Yeah, Kevin Harvick will be going to race some races with Hunt Brothers Pizza next year. Now that he announced that he's done with Xfinity Series racing, which after what he did to Ross Chastain, it's a good thing. And now the biggest news of the weekend. We had Kasey Kahne announcing his retirement. We had Matt DiBenedetto going to the 95. We had this thing that we didn't care about with Hunt Brothers Pizza. But the biggest news of the week, not the bikes, not something that happened like 9 years ago, not Dale Jr. returning to Richmond that happened like 3 weeks ago. The biggest news of the week is that I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. No, I'm just kidding. The biggest news of the week is that Chad Knaus will be leaving Jimmie Johnson at the end of the season. Oh my God, Chad Knaus, in my opinion, is the best crew chief of all time. Don't at me. Don't at me. I don't think Jimmie Johnson's the best driver of all time. I think Dale Earnhardt is the best driver of all time. But, I definitely believe that Chad Knaus is the best crew chief of all time. He has been with Jimmie Johnson since the beginning of his career back in 2001. And that's the longest crew chief driver relationship ever in NASCAR. And the fact that they're leaving like that is just insane. But Jimmie Johnson, I think he has a few years left in him, but it's coming towards the end of his career. I think he'll retire after the 2020 season. That's my opinion. Chad Knaus will be going to William Byron in 2019. They have Darian Grubb. Darian Grubb has not really done much besides the 2006 Daytona 500 and the 2011 championship. I like Darian Grubb, but he just really hasn't done anything. I don't know where Darian Grubb will be going. It hasn't been announced yet. William Byron, I think that's a good thing for William Byron. He has the best crew chief of all time now. William Byron's really not been that good in the Cup Series this season. I think he is a great driver. I really do, and I think it's what he stands for is a great thing because most other race car drivers got their start in late model racing or dirt racing. William Byron got a start in iRacing, literally playing video games on the computer, the simulations. He got to start in iRacing, and he won an Xfinity Series championship. I think he stands for an amazing thing. I love William Byron. but I just don't think he was ready for the Cup Series yet. Obviously, his results are not showing that he's not ready for the Cup Series yet. I mean, he's been running 20th every week in one of the best teams in racing. I mean, he's clearly not ready for it. But I think Chad Knaus will be a big boost for him, and it's also going to be a second season. He'll have more experience at that point, but I expect him to be running for top fives in next season. I don't think he'll be doing wins. I don't think he'll be winning races. It'd be nice, but I don't think he will. But top fives, top tens, that's my overall prediction. All right, so now we're going to get into the winners for this weekend. My 3 winners, we're coming into Talladega. Amazing, fast track, restrictor plate racing. Anything can happen. We've seen drivers get their first wins. We've seen big crashes. But I'm going to do my predictions for this race. My number 3 prediction for the winner is Brad Keselowski. I think Brad Keselowski has a really good shot. He won this race last year. I mean, Fords have won many of the last few races here, so I think Brad Keselowski has a really legitimate shot. Joey Logano, number 2. Joey Logano, he won the spring race here. Also, Roger Penske, a Ford. I think that he has a really good shot. He's won here a few times, so Joey Logano, I think he has a really good shot. And number 1, I know this is going to be really shocking. I'm not even kidding. This is going to be incredibly shocking. You're not expecting this prediction. But my number 1 prediction, I don't even know if I want to say it. You're probably going to judge me. Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman's going to win this weekend. I'm saying it right now. Alex Bowman is going to win the race. He's in a must-win situation. He has a really good team. Greg Ives is a really good crew chief. He won here a few times with Dale Jr. He also won Daytona with Dale Jr. a few times. So, I mean, he's a really good crew chief. Alex Bowman's a really good driver. He almost won 2016 at Talladega. He was doing really good until he got taken out. Alex Bowman's my prediction to win this weekend. I know you'd expect that I put him on like my underdog section, which I know you probably did expect me to do, but no. He's my number one prediction to win this weekend. It sounds crazy, but I think it's going to happen. Now let's get into the underdoggies. Number 3, David Reagan. I think David Reagan is an underdog for this race, definitely. He's won here before. This is one of the 2 tracks he's won at, the other one being the other restrictor plate race at Daytona. He's really good at restrictor plate racing. He's obviously not in the best team, but he's a good driver. I think he has a good shot at maybe getting a top 10 finish this weekend. Number 2, Eric Almirola. I think Eric Almirola has a really good shot. He's won a few Xfinity races here. His 1 win, granted it was a rain-shortened win, was at Daytona, the other restrictor plate race. Eric Almirola won a Talladega Xfinity race last year. He also won Daytona Xfinity race the year before. So I think Eric Almirola is a really good pick. Plus, he's been just really good this year. He almost won the Daytona 500. But yeah, I think Eric Almirola has a really good shot at pulling off a top 5. Plus, he almost won Dover last week. Number 1, Clint Bowyer is my number 1 underdog pick. I pick him as one of my underdogs because he's just been really good this year. He was doing really good last week until he crashed. Clint Bowyer is a good pick this week. And my oopsies, the guys who are going to do horribly this weekend. Number 3, Jimmy Johnson. I think Jimmy Johnson has had a horrible season. He could either do absolutely terribly or he could win the race. Either way, nothing in between. He will either wreck out. I'm saying it right now. He will either wreck out or he will win the race. I'm saying it. That's my pick. Jimmy Johnson, I think he will wreck out. That's my prediction. Jimmy Johnson has not been good this season. Chad Knaus, they just announced they're splitting up. That might put more pressure on Johnson. It might be worse for Johnson, but I think that Johnson's going to do pretty bad. Number 2, Ryan Blaney. He's a Penske driver. He's a Ford driver. I think he's probably going to wreck out this weekend. He's done good at Talladega in the past, but he won the Roval, which nobody expected. So you expect that he's going to do good this weekend. So he's not. He's been the opposite of all of our predictions. Number 1, Kyle Busch. Yep, you've heard it. Biggest fan. He's announcing he's going to suck. He's going to suck this weekend. He's going to wreck out. He's not going to win. Kyle Busch is out. He's not out, but he's out of the race. He's not gonna do good. All right, guys, that's my predictions. If you guys like this video, please leave a like on it. If you dislike this video, please leave a dislike and a comment telling me exactly what I did wrong. Be sure to subscribe and turn notifications. And as always, goodbye, bunny rabbits.